From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. Right now you're taking a look at peachy skies in Kennewick as the sun is raising up. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. Already a beautiful morning out there. Not just beautiful, but the temperature is feeling much milder as opposed to just a couple mornings back, as we're now in the 40s for the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. A mixture of 40s and 50s for the basin and for the foothills. Now 20s and 30s for the Blues and Cascades. So up that way you might run into a little bit of frost for this morning. Here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. Lots of sunshine. We'll be into the mid 60s around lunchtime. We'll be into the mid 60s to low 70s by the time we get to the peak of daytime heating. And we're not ruling out a small chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the upper Yakima Valley for this afternoon and evening. But I think the biggest factor for today's forecast is going to come in the form of some very gusty winds, especially for the lower Columbia Basin and the Blue Foothills. Overall, our forecast stays pretty dry and pretty seasonal for lower elevations, but we have more winds to deal with as we head into this weekend, especially for the Kittitas Valley and the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. I'll tell you about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a device that could automatically stop your car from driving over the speed limit could become a reality for some drivers in the state, and that's all if one proposed bill ends up getting signed by the governor. We have the details coming up.
But first, Jim Curtis is officially void of being Yakima County's coroner, and we have the details on the decision by county commissioners just ahead.
Also coming up, the latest back and forth between a federal judge and the Trump administration over the man who was deported to El Salvador by mistake. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Wednesday, April 16th, and as always, a lot of news to get to this morning.
That's right. We want to start off in Yakima this morning, where county commissioners voted to accept the resignation of Coroner Jim Curtis.
Yeah, the vote took place just yesterday. It was unanimous.
I'm glad that we're here. Some may have particular issues with portions of the settlement, but I feel it's in the best interest of the county so that we can actually move forward.
Next, Commissioners, we have one. Now, according to documents, the request to approve the settlement was in the best interest of Yakima County. Now there's a 7-day rescission in place for Curtis, so the board isn't able to comment until after those 7 days are up. Curtis still faces charges of official misconduct and making false statements to public officials in another case. Attorney Timothy Hall, the law firm representing the plaintiff, spoke with Apple Valley News Now about the possible resignation.
I can certainly see why the county chose this route. I'm sure that it's, people aren't necessarily going to be thrilled about it because it feels like, you're paying somebody who should just voluntarily resign. But, elections cost money.
Curtis's settlement includes a payout of over $63,000, which is about 6 months' salary. Curtis will have to pay Yakima County $3,500 of that to pay for the county's cadaver dog named Justice. And the county will continue to pay medical benefits for Curtis through December of this year.
6:03 now, taking you to Richland, where 25 people from 12 different countries were sworn in as U.S. citizens. This includes people from China, Ecuador, Iraq, Japan, Kenya, and Mexico. It all took place in the U.S. District Court in Eastern Washington. The Washington League of Women Voters and the local auditor's office were there on site helping the new citizens register to vote right after the ceremony. One of them, Neftali Mendoza, shared his journey to citizenship.
It was mentally, physically, and emotionally demanding and expensive, but it's doable. It's been taking a long time. I've been here since I've been 3 months old. I'm 31 now, and I'm happy to say this paper is going to make a difference moving forward.
And each new citizen got a handshake and American flag pin there upon completion, so congratulations to them.
Now, 4 Tri-Cities police departments, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, and West Richland, are teaming up with the Arc of the Tri-Cities to launch Project Guardian. This voluntary program helps protect individuals with special needs through secure information sharing. So families can submit photos, emergency contacts, and helpful details for first responders. ARC has also provided stickers to alert officers at homes or in cars. Enrollment is easy and available on each police department's website. The Washington Senate passed a bill yesterday to try to stop habitual speeders in their tracks. Albert James shows us why supporters say mandating speed limiting devices will correct a dangerous trend, and also why a handful of senators voted against the bill.
Engrossed substitute House Bill 1596 as amended by the Senate on third reading and final passage.
House Bill 1596 would require certain drivers to install a device that physically limits their car to the speed limit of the area they're in. Similar to how ignition interlock devices are used for people with a history of drunk driving, a person would have a speed limiter after getting their license suspended for reckless driving or excessive speeding, or if they've been ordered to have a device by a court.
It is also a reminder to the drivers that their dangerous driving behavior and hopefully will serve as a tool for lasting behavior change. I encourage a yes vote. This is a good piece of legislation, and I'm very, very pleased to have the opportunity to vote yes on it.
Prime sponsor Mari Levitt of Pierce County argues the bill is a necessary step to curb a troubling increase in fatal accidents. State data shows fatal crashes have been on an upward trend since 2019, with a growing number of them involving speeding. As we previously reported, Levitt was particularly moved by a crash in King County last March that killed a woman and 3 children. A teen was accused of causing the crash by driving well over 100 miles an hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. He pleaded guilty earlier this month.
We have called it now the BEAM Act, and BEAM is an acronym for the first letter of the first name of the 4 who died last March in Renton. So Boyd, Eloise, Andrea, and Matilda.
The bill passed out of the Senate on a 40-8 vote. Of the 8 Republicans that voted against the legislation, Senator Perry Dozier of Southeast Washington says while he supports the intent of stopping habitual speeders, he had concerns about oversight creeping onto people with 1 or 2 isolated incidents.
There could be an instance where you have to speed, a medical emergency where something has happened. Maybe your wife's having a baby and you're exceeding the speed limit, and then you get caught like that.
The bill now goes back to the House to concur with the Senate amendments before heading to the governor.
I've heard from the governor's office that they're very excited about this bill and about the ability to save lives, and so I'm feeling very confident that we'll get over the finish line this year.
In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
6:07, and back here locally, a group of students from Kamiakin High School are joining some very elite company. They took to the legendary stage of Carnegie Hall in New York City, where some of the greatest icons have performed. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for so many of them. An invitation from Choirs of America turned into reality through months of dedication and preparation. Kamiakin High's choir and symphony pouring their hearts into every rehearsal and fundraiser to make this dream come true.
I was really excited. I feel like being over here, you don't expect opportunities like that, especially when Tri-Cities is not really considered, I feel like, a center of arts or anything, so you would expect those opportunities to go to people in like Seattle.
Well, after more than a year of hard work, the group took to the stage, and they say they, of course, couldn't have done it without the support of the Kennewick School District and the Kamiakin Performing Arts Booster Club.
Coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, there's lots of back and forth between a federal judge and the Trump administration over the man who was deported to El Salvador by mistake. Coming up, we have what one senator is doing to try to bring this man back to the U.S.
But first, giving you that beautiful live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky camera at Richland's Columbia Point, overlooking the mighty Columbia on this Wednesday morning. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have your first alert forecast as we continue to make our way through this week. It's 8 minutes after 6.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. With the Chase Ink card, we got up and running in no time.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Ink Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house has the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
This year, Walker's Furniture is turning spring cleaning into spring savings with an indoor garage sale where you can save store-wide up to 70% off clearance items. And new markdowns are arriving daily as we clean out the warehouses with big savings on closeouts, ding and dents, and floor model furniture at garage sale prices. Plus, special financing is available, so you can save big now and pay over time. But hurry up, this is your last chance for final markdowns.
This week at Walker's.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
In a world filled with accidents, the injured look to Mo, because Mo knows these guys are bulldog tough on personal injury and workers' compensation claims. Mo knows you can go to the other guys, but why would you? From back in autumn, Bulldog Tough.
Harlem has everything, but I couldn't find Pilates anywhere. So I started my own studio. And with the right help, I can make this place I love even better.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is chilly out there for this morning, but not as cold as some of the temperatures we were seeing just a couple mornings back. We're in the mid-30s right now for Snoqualmie Pass, around 50 for Ellensburg, also the same thing for Vantage. We'll split the difference for Cle Elum. Then in the Yakima Valley, 40 to 49. That looks like it's the range right now, so all of us just much too warm to have to deal with any frost. The same predicament in the lower Columbia Basin as these temperatures spanning from 41 in Connell to 52 for the Hanford side. Then in the Blue Foothills, these temperatures mostly in the mid-40s, although we are seeing some low 50s there towards Walla Walla. And in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, 20s, 30s, and 40s. So up this way, maybe running into a little bit of frost. Here's your coat cast for today for the Tri-Cities. A light jacket weather for this morning. It's going to be t-shirt weather a little bit later today, especially if you're standing in the sunshine. But those breezes might make it feel a little bit cooler. It's not just going to be breezy, it's going to be windy today, especially for the lower Columbia Basin and for the Blue Foothills with those winds gusting out of the north and east. Also, we'll have a little chance of a shower or thunderstorm during the late afternoon to early evening in the Yakima Valley. Then by the time we get into the mid to late evening, some showers even trickling down into the Blue Foothills or Blue Mountains. Overnight lows pretty cold tonight, 20s and 30s. I'm thinking for lower elevations, you probably won't have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, or the plumbing, but we will cut it pretty close. We'll have more wind gusts on tap as we head into this weekend, even stronger than today. I'll tell you about those coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 6:13 in your national headlines this morning. Protesters are speaking out at a town hall in Iowa and in Georgia over the mistaken deportation of Kilmar Abrego Garcia to El Salvador. Well, today, a Maryland senator is traveling to El Salvador to meet directly with officials there and press for the man's release. A judge saying the Trump administration has done nothing to comply with the Supreme Court's order to facilitate his return, and now want proof that they have by the end of the month. The administration, though, arguing that they can't force his release, pointing to the president of El Salvador's statement where he said he will not release Abrego Garcia. White House insisting that Abrego Garcia is a gang member, despite a judge saying there's no credible evidence of that. Well, 2 service members were killed, another seriously injured in a crash involving a military vehicle near the Border Patrol station in New Mexico yesterday morning. Officials say that they were deployed to the area in support of the Joint Task Force of the southern border. They've not released their identities or which branch of service they were in, and the cause of the crash is still under investigation. And talking tariffs now as President Trump's trade war with China continues. Bloomberg is reporting that China has now told Chinese airlines to stop buying airline parts from American companies and saying they will no longer accept deliveries of Boeing jets. Now, Boeing, as you know, is America's largest exporter by dollar value, with suppliers across all 50 states. We're also hearing from farmers in regards to these tariffs, saying that they're optimistic that Trump's tariffs will land them a fairer deal eventually. Now, Trump has hinted that he may pause his 25% tariff on auto imports, driving global stocks up temporarily yesterday, but not putting a time frame on that. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert and your first alert forecast as we give you a beautiful live look outside this morning on this Wednesday morning from the Legends Casino Hotel and Sky Camera at Columbia Point in Richland. It's 6:15 and we're back after the break.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
It's time to lose your generic weather app. Scan this QR code to download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. It's the app you need from the team you trust.
The Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app, only from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Your morning rhythm is never off with Kelly and Mark.
Am I going to regret doing that walkout here?
Wednesday, Josh Duhamel from his new show, Ransom Canyon, and Lake Bell, next live.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee Weather. Apple Valley News Now, on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. The biggest effect from today's weather is going to be, well, obviously the wind gusts. You're looking at it right now. They'll be out of the north and northeast between 40 to 45 miles per hour, specifically for the lower Columbia Basin and for the Blue Foothills. And that peak time frame is going to be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also for today, there's going to be a low-end chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the Yakima Valley. Now, this This model run of Futurecast is showing this a little bit closer to the Kittitas Valley, but other model data is suggesting that better energy for that will exist in the upper Yakima Valley. And then as we head later into the evening, some of this energy could trickle down into the Blue Foothills or the Blue Mountains. Can't rule out some showers there. Should be dry into the late evening and pretty dry for tomorrow as well. But then as we head into the afternoon, another round of showers primarily impacting the Blue Mountains. Maybe some of these could trickle down into the Blue Foothills. But again, in general, pretty dry, not only over the next 48 hours, but really over the next 7 days. Now, we will have chances for some mountain snow showers, maybe a rain-snow mix at times for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Maybe some showers seeping down into the Blue Foothills as well. But you can see the big takeaway is that this forecast will stay dry for the next week, but that doesn't mean that impacts are going to be zero from the weather for Easter weekend, as for both Saturday and Sunday, wind gusts going to be pretty ferocious, especially in the Kittitas Valley and in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Some of those peak winds could be between 50 to 55 miles per hour. So if we had spotty power outages, if we had down tree limbs, difficult travel for high-profile vehicles, that is all going to be on the table for both Saturday and Sunday, especially in those aforementioned locations. High temperatures mostly seasonal over the next 7 days. Not a whole lot of ebbs or flows to the forecast in that regard. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Windy today, leftover breezes tomorrow, then another round of breezy weather for Easter weekend. In Yakima, a small chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon, otherwise keeping the forecast dry as winds become a factor on Saturday. Then in Ellensburg, a couple of breezy days ahead of us, but very strong winds on tap for Saturday and Sunday. For Hermiston, windy today, still breezy tomorrow, then breezy again by this weekend. Then for Walla Walla, windy Wednesday, leftover breezes Thursday, breezy again this weekend, but keeping it mostly dry up until that 10% chance of a shower to start off next week. Now you're taking a live look at Columbia Point. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Looking for a trusted professional to guide you through your real estate endeavors? Carrie Lundgren with River Realty is ready to guide you through the process. As a lifelong Tri-Cities resident with 35 years real estate experience, she has the knowledge, dedication, and enthusiasm to make your real estate dreams come true. Whether you are buying your first home, moving up or scaling back, or looking for an investment, she has got you covered. Call Carrie today at 509-948-0580 and start making your dreams a reality.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
It's the Blue Compass RV Spring Blowout Sale. Pick your RV, pick your payment. Travel trailers from $97 a month. Fifth wheels from $273 a month. Motorhomes from $499 a month. Only at Blue Compass RV.
Good evening, everybody. To make great newscasts, you need great resources and an experienced team. Austin Reed grew up near Portland, where he started his broadcast career more than 20 years ago. His passion for reporting breaking news and for telling distinctive stories that affect positive change make him uniquely qualified to bring the news home to you each evening.
Get the best local news coverage every day, right here.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now at 5, 6, and 6:30 on your side.
On your side.
To all of these men, I want to say that football is not just a game, but a way of life.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you to watch this year's MFL Draft. The draft begins Thursday, April 24th on Apple Valley News Now. Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care. E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra.
Welcome back, 623. In your entertainment headlines this morning, legendary game show host and radio personality Wink Martindale has passed away at the age of 91.
He was born in Jackson, Tennessee as Winston, and he got the nickname Winky from a playmate who had a speech impediment. And with a career spanning 7 decades, Martindale was known for shows such as Tic-Tac-Toe, High Rollers, and Gambit.
He's survived by his wife of 49 years, Sandra Martindale.
Aww.
And it was more than just a good day for hip-hop legend Ice Cube and his fans. The Los Angeles native was honored in a big way at one of Hollywood's most iconic landmarks.
Yeah, after nearly 40 years of shaping music and movies, Ice Cube cemented his legacy, literally. He left his hand and footprints at the TCL Chinese Theater. He's now joining a legendary list of stars that include everyone from, John Wayne, Robin Williams, Marilyn Monroe.
I feel like he needs an ice sculpture. Get it?
I get it. I get it. I love that
Cube.
he's just standing there in his chucks.
Is that what he's known as? Cube? Ice Cube? It says Cube in the script. So Cube is also announced.
That's because we're friends.
Yeah.
So
that's why
we talk to him.
It's his last name.
Yeah. Mr. Cube.
So he's announced his first U.S. headlining tour in over a decade. It's called the Truth to Power 4 Decades of Attitude Tour, and it kicks off in September. It's quite the name.
Sell out fast.
He should have just called it the Cube Tour, the Ice Cube. Just Ice Cube.
Cube Tour.
Are we there yet? That movie? It's a good movie. That's what I think of.
I've seen NWA in person, the National Weather Association. It's a conference.
All right.
I'm confused.
We're done here. NWA is a rap group.
Oh.
Ice Cube was a part of.
And Ice Cube was a part of it.
I'm just going to go now.
But that's
I think it's time for me to leave.
It's not my NWA.
No,
Yes.
it's a different.
We should just move on.
We're going to take a break, but we
we'll be right
still
back.
have a lot more coming up on Good Morning Northwest. We're talking construction, and it's hitting Pasco. We're going to let you know what you should prepare for. It could have you stopping at an intersection you don't normally stop at.
That's right, everything you need to know if you drive through that area this morning. Details are coming up in your next half hour.
Easter is this Sunday, and your holiday ham or turkey is waiting for you. We have everything from our smoked or oven-roasted turkey breast, delicious sides and desserts, to our unforgettable, fully cooked spiral-cut ham, dripping with our famous mouth-watering glaze. Call 509-579-5855. Order online or stop by our store on Columbia Center Boulevard to reserve your ham today. The Honey Baked Ham, helping you make the most of your time with family.
Get ready to feast at Legends Casino Hotel's ultimate all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Dive into fresh Dungeness crab, wild Columbia River salmon, juicy prime rib, and much more. Taste it all every Thursday and Saturday starting at 4 p.m.
On behalf of STCU, we want to present you with this $1,000 check.
I want to turn something that was meant for negative, I want to turn it into something positive.
To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostemtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
McCurley Dealerships is celebrating 44 years with big giving and even bigger savings. Fill out an entry form at any McCurley dealership for a chance to win one of two $4,400 cash prizes. Plus, each winner gets an additional $4,400 to donate to one of 44 local nonprofit partners. No purchase necessary. And get a great deal on a new 2025 Subaru Forester for only $244 a month. McCurley Subaru, celebrating 44 years of savings, giving back, and helping you find your way home.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Wednesday morning, and thanks for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbreth.
All right, Cash with Colbreth. How's that 3-degree guarantee looking?
It's going well. It's going up. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 76 in Pasco Tri-Cities.
76.
At 76. So now the jackpot's up to 75. So for today, here are the stakes. I'm going with a cooler forecast high of 70 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it actually verifies between 67 to 73, the jackpot's going to reach triple digits. But if that doesn't happen, the $75 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by heading on over to applevalleynewsnow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live, beautiful look at the Yakima Valley. This view coming courtesy of Weimar. It looks like we have mostly sunny skies out there for this morning, and temperatures in the 40s for the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. We're in the 40s and 50s for the lower Columbia Basin, also 40s and 50s for the Blue Foothills. So for lower elevations, it's just too warm to run into any frost for this morning, but we could run into a little bit of that in some of the higher terrain of the Blues and the Cascades. Although at White Pass, we're at 33 degrees, technically 1 degree above freezing. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine, high temperatures, cooler compared to yesterday, but still seasonal, if not a few degrees above average for mid-April. So that's going to be the gist for today. Mostly sunny out there, although there is a little chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the upper Yakima Valley during the late afternoon to early evening. I'll touch on that, and I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. At 6:31, we start in Oregon, where the state house has unanimously passed a bill that aims to criminalize the spreading of pornographic or sexually explicit images, which are AI generated. So this legislative move to pass House Bill 2299 comes in response to a significant rise in artificial intelligence generated deepfakes, which predominantly victimize women and children. The bill updates the current statute. It broadens the definition of an image to encompass digitally created, manipulated, or altered depictions that are reasonably realistic. The bill now heads to the Senate for further consideration.
Pasco residents have been voicing their concerns about a dangerous intersection for a while now, and city officials have finally listened. A new four-way stop is coming to the intersection of Sandifer Parkway and Convention Drive. Council members say this will make a big difference for drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians, and the city will be adding the new stop signs today, so keep that in mind as you head out the door this morning.
The Tri-City Dust Devils return home to take on the Everett Aqua Sox, and they're bringing some momentum with them. After dropping 2 of their first 3 games, the Dust Devils hit the road to Eugene and managed a series split with the Emeralds. Well, they return home following a 4-2 win and with a standout performer in their bullpen. Left-hander A.J. Block was named the Northwest League Player of the Week, which was an honor that he didn't see coming.
That was very cool, especially as a reliever. It's a little harder to get as a reliever, but I think that shortened 3-game series made it really cool. It was a good honor.
The former Washington State Coug, Go Cougs, has appeared in 4 games this season, posting a sub 2.0 ERA with 8 strikeouts, 2 saves. Dust Devils begin their homestand tonight against the Everett Aqua Sox.
The Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation have donated nearly $10,000 worth of goods to a Northeast Oregon tribe after some recent flooding. Now, this includes firewood, alfalfa hay, biodegradable plates, and utensils. The tribe's Board of Trustees chairman saying the Burns Paiute tribe would do the same if the tables were turned. The tribe's emergency management coordinator believes supporting other tribal communities speaks to the strength of intertribal relationships. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's Wednesday, and that can mean only one thing, Operation Best Friend Time. And today we'll meet Joseph, a pup who's looking for his forever home. You don't want to miss more on this little puppy dog face, so stay with us.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Friday, April 18th is Family Feast Night with the Dust Devils. Come enjoy a baseball game with hot dogs, soft drinks, and more for $2.50 each. And be sure to come back Saturday, April 19th as your Dust Devils play as the Columbia River Rooster Tails and enjoy a post-game fireworks show thanks to BNSF Railway. For tickets, head to the official site, DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox this week. Jumbo Pack annuals are just 2 for $7. Bagged Filthy Rich Bark Mulch and Bi-Mart potting soil and planting mix are just $6.99. Save $2 on Werner Jerky. Save $3 on Tide liquid laundry detergent. Plus, get ready for your outdoor recreation for less. From fishing to camping and more, Bi-Mart has you covered. And save more on all your last-second Easter needs. Saving our members more and keeping your dollars in your community. Bi-Mart since 1955.
It's not easy being Mariano Morales' horse. He needs to ride to clients all the time. He does take care of them. He gets the insurance company to pay for medical bills, car repairs, even money for pain and suffering. Looks like it's going to be another busy day. Better get warmed up. After all, I am his best friend.
Hurt in a car wreck? Give me a call.
Big or small, we work them all.
I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Get ready to feast at Legends Casino Hotel's ultimate all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Dive into fresh Dungeness crab, wild Columbia River salmon, juicy prime rib, and much more. Taste it all every Thursday and Saturday starting at 4 p.m.
Wendy Redman is a leader in broadcast news. She breaks big stories, produces special reports that make a difference, and brings the news home each evening.
It's sometimes dramatic, but always informative.
Wendy Redman, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Your morning rhythm is never off with Kelly and Mark.
Am I going to regret doing that walk out here?
Wednesday, Josh Duhamel from his new show, Ransom Canyon, and Lake Bell, next live.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. First of all, it's going to be a beautiful day, lots of sunshine out there, but the winds are going to be the big story as they'll gust out of the north and northwest. Around 30 miles per hour for the Cascades and for the Kittitas Valley. Highs in the mid-50s up towards Snoqualmie Pass, mid-60s down in the Kittitas Valley. In the Yakima Valley, we'll hover around 70 degrees. These winds gusting out of the north and east around 30 miles per hour. And there will be that low wind chance, about a 10% chance of a shower or thunderstorm from about 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Yakima Valley. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, these highs in the mid 60s to low 70s. Very windy here. Winds out of the north and east around 40 to 45 miles per hour. And then for the Blue Foothills, these winds also out of the north and northeast around 40 to 45 miles per hour. Plenty of sunshine, low to mid 60s for the Blue Foothills, 50s and 60s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Now let's talk about the big picture, the reservoir levels for the Yakima Basin, which is one of the largest basins within our viewing area, and the smallest reservoir of this system, Bumping, is actually running a surplus, which is good, but the much larger reservoirs, Cle Elum, Catches, Keechless, Rimrock, running about 30 to 40% deficits, which is bad, but thankfully we have more snowmelt on the way, so that'll help out with those numbers a little bit, but still not in a great spot overall. Stay tuned for that.
Well, it is Wednesday, so that means it's now time for Operation Best Friend, a segment all about pairing you with your new best friend, a pet from a local shelter who's looking for their forever home.
And today we're introducing you to Joseph. He's currently the longest resident at Tri-Cities Animal Services, and apparently he did get adopted when he first came in, but then they found him running around alone. Oh, so sad.
Well, if that backstory doesn't make you want to immediately call the shelter and adopt them, well, looking at his adorable face will certainly do the trick. So without further ado, let's meet Joseph.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica and I'm from Tri-Cities Animal Services in Pasco, Washington. This week for Operation Best Friend, I have brought Joseph. Joseph is currently the longest resident at our facility. On and off being with us since September of 2023. Joseph did get adopted for a few months when he first came to us, but he was soon found running around alone on the streets, and his adopter never came to reclaim him. At this time, Joseph has accumulated 513 days in the shelter as of today. We think that Joseph is a Pitbull Husky Akita mix. More heavy on the Akita from the looks of this 90 pounds of pure muscle. Joseph lives for toys. He will actually do pretty much anything for a toy. Like his basic commands, which is sit, shake, and sometimes he will lay down. He tends to like to work for toys more than food, actually. Joseph can live in a home with female dogs that match his size and energy, but we can confirm that Joseph would not do well in a home with male dogs or anything smaller than him, including cats. If you are interested in adopting a dog like Joseph, we do require, if you have dogs at home, that you come with them and meet him to ensure compatibility. You don't need an appointment to do that. You can stop by during business hours, Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Joseph's adoption fee is only $50. He is neutered, he is microchipped, and he is up to date on his vaccines as well. You can view all of our animals on our website at www.tricitiesanimalservices.com to learn more about dogs like Joseph, view photos, and read their profiles. Stop by Tri-Cities Animal Services today to meet your best new furry friend.
And Josh was just so cute, but Josh was just saying that Joseph is such a proper name for a dog. I'd already be calling him Joey or something shorter. What's usually the shorter version of Joseph?
Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Yeah. But there's good nickname opportunities. That JoJo.
Anytime you have a pet, you know, there's 20 of them.
Yes.
You don't even use their real name.
Well, no, exactly. Our dog has 14 different names.
That make no sense, yeah.
Strung together, yeah, absolutely. All right, well, he could be yours. So much more ahead on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning at 6:41, giving you that live look outside from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studio in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to have your full First Alert forecast after the break.
Seems like everyone's going country these days. Let me show you how it's done. Yep, that Nashville Hot Sweet Heat is here on my 100% all-white meat popcorn chicken starting at $5.99. Tastes good to go country. Get so much more. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Step into a whimsical world of fun. Join Alice and journey into the $185,000 prize land at Wild Horse Resort and Casino.
Anything is possible with $16,000 in cash and prizes every Friday and Saturday. And the magical wins continue with a chance to multiply your prize up to $4,000 cash. Step into a whimsical world of fun. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Celebrate 3 decades of fun.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
At US Cellular, we're celebrating our customers, like JP here. It's a special event. Us days.
Yeah, we get special rewards and exclusive deals, and it's only for US Cellular customers. It's like we got our own special club.
Should we show them?
Us days at US Cellular. Right now, our customers can get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Hi, I'm Stacey Lee, and I'm inviting you on a holidays vacation tour. Join me as we experience New England's fall foliage, October 2nd to the 10th. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors, before ending our vacation in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword Apple Valley, to request a brochure, watch a travel show, and book this tour.
It's time to unveil my $4.99 jumbo breakfast platter with French toast sticks, grilled sausage patty, hash brown, and scrambled eggs. Man, that thing's still going. Uh-oh. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. The biggest impact from today's forecast obviously going to be the winds, as they'll be gusting primarily out of the north and northeast, with the strongest wind gusts being in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills. Those peak wind gusts being between 40 to 45 miles per hour, and the peak time frame would be from 11 a.m. this morning to 7 p.m. this evening. Now let's put today in motion with Futurecast. It's going to end up being pretty dry over the next 48 hours, but this iteration of Futurecast is picking up on a shower or thunderstorm or two in the valleys. This run has it closer to the Kittitas Valley, but I think the better energy is going to end up being in the upper Yakima Valley. And then as we put this in motion even further, that starts to trickle down into the Blue Foothills and Blue Mountains. But after 8 p.m., we should end up being pretty dry. But then tomorrow we'll have another round of showers. Again, kind of the same time frame, 2 to 8 p.m., but this time mostly in the Blue Mountains, maybe some of this seeping down into the Blue Foothills. But again, next 48 hours, mostly dry, and that's really just, we're going to have an extension of that over the next 7 days. Now, we could have some shower, maybe even a rain-snow mix, some chances of that in the mountains for Saturday through Monday, and some of that again, maybe trickling down into the Blue Foothills, but overall a dry forecast, but that doesn't mean that impacts from the weather for Easter weekend are going to be zero, as we'll actually have some big time impacts once again from the winds as they'll race out of the north and west around 55 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, and that would be for both Saturday and Sunday. So if we saw spotty power outages, down tree limbs, difficult travel for high-profile vehicles, none of that would come as a big surprise. High temperatures staying very steady over the next 7 days, no real big ebbs or flows. So pretty seasonal and pretty dry over the next week. That's the big takeaway, in addition to the winds, of course. So speaking of that, the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities: windy today, leftover breezes tomorrow, then another round of breezy weather for Easter weekend. In Yakima, a small chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon, otherwise keeping the forecast dry as winds become a factor on Saturday. In Ellensburg, a couple of breezy days ahead of us, but very strong winds on tap for Saturday and Sunday. In Hermiston, windy today, still breezy tomorrow, then breezy again by this weekend. Then for Walla Walla, windy Wednesday, leftover breezes Thursday, breezy again this weekend, but keeping it mostly dry up until that 10% chance of a shower for next Monday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, never-before-seen surveillance video obtained by ABC News showing the moment a woman snuck through airport security. Watch as Svetlana Dali boards Delta Flight 264 from JFK to Paris November 26th, blending with the crowd and never handing over a boarding pass. That's because she didn't have one. The gate attendants are seen here helping other passengers as Dali passes by. Federal prosecutors say Delta agents who were busy helping ticketed passengers board did not stop her or ask her to present a boarding pass before she boarded the plane.
I think she had her game plan, and it just worked that her game plan really worked.
By the time the flight crew realized Dali did not have a seat, the plane was on its way to France, and Dali flew as a stowaway. Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you just how she was able to get through and what happened when authorities stepped in. With your GMA First Look, I'm Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
Touch can mean so many things, even for children with moderate to severe eczema. Touch can stir a sense of wonder, can make a ride go smoothly, and make a smile stretch ear to ear. Dupixent can help your child stay ahead of eczema with clearer skin and noticeably less itch. When a touch is all in good fun, Dupixent helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists. Help your child feel the heal and see the difference. Reach out to your child's eczema specialist today.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:50. It's time for your morning sprint. We're going to start off with your national headlines. 3 students were shot at a Texas high school and a 4th student was grazed by a bullet. This happened yesterday and prompted a large police response and campus evacuations. The gunman was arrested and is being held in the Dallas County Jail. And the shooting comes a year after another shooting took place at that same high school. Tax day was yesterday, and officials say about 22,000 IRS employees accepted the Trump administration's deferred resignation package. Tuesday was the deadline to accept the buyout, and it resulted in a 25% reduction in the workforce. This was the second time the offer was made to IRS employees. About 4,700 workers left during the first round, which was done last month, and former IRS officials have said major cuts to the agency could lead to problems like collecting less federal government revenue.
6:51 in your business headlines this morning. A recall alert on several soup and bowl products. Take a look at your screen. Officials say they might be contaminated with materials including wood. The affected items include frozen Campbell's spicy chicken nacho soup, frozen Sysco chicken tortilla soup, and frozen Molly's Kitchen white bean chicken chili. USDA says the products were sent to retailers in 4 states, and they do expect more items to be added to that recall list. And Sam's Club is getting a big makeover. The warehouse chain says all of its 600 stores will be remodeled. Renovations will include adding scan and go aisles, as well as the ability to ship your purchases directly to your home. And that's not all. Sam's Club says they plan to open 15 new clubs every year for the next decade. Company says the goal is to double memberships, sales, and profit over the next 10 years.
In your health news, a new CDC study shows that the autism diagnosis rate has increased among U.S. children. It found about 1 in every 31 kids was diagnosed with autism by age 8 in 2022, and that's up from 1 in 36 in 2020. Rates varied widely by gender, race, and geographic area. And last week, the Department of Health and Human Services launched a massive testing and research effort with the goal of identifying the cause of the epidemic by September. And the FDA is warning of fake Ozempic, saying it could pose a safety risk. The agency and Ozempic drug maker Novo Nordisk have found counterfeit vials of the weight loss drug on the market. The labels on the counterfeit drugs products have a real lot number, but they also have a fake serial number. And that fake serial number begins with the first 8 digits being 517-46517. Now, if the real lot number is coupled with the fake serial number, the product is counterfeit and should not be used. Now, to make sure you're getting the real thing, you should only buy Ozempic injections from authorized distributors of Novo Nordisk.
Talking sports now at 6:53. Seattle Kraken ending their season with a tough 6-5 loss to the LA Kings last night. After falling behind early, Seattle rallied with goals from 5 different players. A strong third period push brought them within 1, but they couldn't complete the comeback. Despite overshooting the Kings, the Kraken's defense struggled, and they finished the season 35-41-6. And Seattle Mariners taking on the Cincinnati Reds last night with a loss of 4-8. They play the Reds again today at 3:40. And at 6:53, here are the top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. Yakima County Commissioners have voted unanimously to accept the resignation of Coroner Jim Curtis, stating that it is in the best interest of Yakima County. Now, while this settlement is with the county, Curtis is still facing charges of official misconduct and making false statements to public officials in another case.
The Washington Senate passes House Bill 1163, which would require a state permit for potential gun buyers. If signed into law, buying a gun would involve obtaining a 5-year permit and completing a certified firearms safety training. Last year, the bill did not advance out of committee, but this year it will head to the House with amendments made in the Senate.
Now, Pasco residents are voicing their concerns about a dangerous intersection, and the city is listening. A new 4-way stop is coming to the intersection of Sandifer Parkway and Convention Drive. Council members say that this will make a big difference for drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians.
And the city of Richland is gearing up for some construction at its public library. The Richland Public Library Foundation presented the City Council Board with a $100,000 check to go towards enhancing the outdoor children's garden that is set to be built later this year on the library's property. The total budget with this donation that was presented is $400,000.
And 4 Tri-Cities police departments, all of them, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, and West Richland, are teaming up with the Arc of Tri-Cities to launch Project Guardian. The volunteer program helps protect individuals with special needs through secure information sharing. Families can submit photos, emergency contacts, and helpful details for first responders. Arc has also provided stickers to alert officers at homes or in vehicles. Enrollment is easy, and it's available on each police department's website. All right, 6:55, trending this morning. Scientists have used a speck of mouse brain matter. Shouldn't be that much anyways. They're so tiny.
You just made.
They're so tiny.
A speck of mouse brain matter.
A speck of mouse brain matter to create the first precise 3-dimensional map of a mammal's brain. Check it out.
Okay, so this tiny piece of tissue contained nearly 3.5 miles of wiring. It took almost a decade of research by 150 scientists at 22 institutions led by the Allen Institute for Brain Science.
And if you ever wondered what was underneath the mask of the Chuck E. Cheese head, well, that's what it looks like.
It looks like cotton candy to me.
Well, the digital scan gives scientists a view of how certain parts of the mouse brain are organized. It also offers insight into how different cell types work as one, but it represents only 1/500th of the full volume of a mouse's brain.
Wow. That's a
my
lot
brain
to
after
unpack.
that. Yeah. Looks like cotton candy.
It was kind of cool. It was cool.
Yeah,
looking.
it's pretty.
It is.
It looks like also
Just
the sky, like a
little
NASA
speck.
picture.
A speck of a mouse's brain.
Huh.
And you can train them. You can train mice to do stuff.
really
Is it
cool.
ethical? I don't know. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay,
That's
we're not
a
going to get
whole
into
other
that, I guess.
conversation. But we
Pandora's
can't talk about
box.
weather.
Yeah, let's get outside.
I'm good at talking about that. Okay, right now let's take a look at temperatures out there. 30s up in the Cascades, 20s and 30s in the Blues, and 40s and 50s for lower elevations. So for lower elevations, it's just much too warm to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. A little bit later today, mid-60s in the Kittitas Valley, mid-60s in the foothills, will be around 70 for the Yakima Valley and for the lower Columbia Basin. Can't rule out about a 10% chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm in the upper Yakima Valley from about 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. But overall, a mostly dry day. The big thing over the next 7 days is going to be the winds. First for today, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., especially for the lower Columbia Basin and the Blue Foothills. And then looking ahead to Easter weekend, very blustery, but this time for the Kittitas Valley and the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County.
And thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. That's AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America is up next, and we'll be back tonight with your local news and weather at 5.
Have a great day.